serving size 1 cup. Well, okay.
Oh, there was no intro roll.
Bum 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 bum
What
bum
happened?
bum 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 bum
Where's our
bum
intro?
bum 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 bum. Ding wing ding wing ding wing ding 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 ding.
Hi again. Like, ended up our cameras off center. What is happening this morning?
You seem stressed.
Anthony?
Are you stressed?
No, everything's just not working.
You seem a little stressed.
What a lovely response, Anthony.
Are
Good
you?
morning, everyone? Well,
You're okay. Are you good?
I won't be if you keep asking.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the first, best, and only morning news show in existence. I'm Saige Ryan.
And I'm Anthony Carboni. And baby, we got garfed. It's Monday.
It is Monday.
It's Monday.
It's Monday again.
Oh, I see. You center it. I try to make it look like the scroll bars are scroll
You're not
bars.
supposed to move it. It's always in place.
Well,
That's what happened.
No,
you
it
moved
was cut off. I had to draw. I had to like. It was only my half of the
He said,
frame.
I didn't touch anything.
No, but I had to move that because it was cut off. It was half a frame. I didn't touch the intro.
Uh-huh.
We'll be right back. Wow.
Hello, good morning, everybody.
Wow.
Hi, welcome back to the show. Love this start. Good morning, everyone. Also, good morning to Kaylee specifically.
Good morning to Kaylee specifically. Hello.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. We have so much to talk about. Before we got started, Anthony noticed a lip gloss.
Well, what I noticed is a box on Saige's desk that says "instantly sexy lips." Like it's the biggest type on the packaging.
Can you reach it?
Let me see.
So close, so close.
Let me see. It just says really big, instantly sexy lips. And I was like, damn, I want some instantly sexy lips. Is it that easy? You just buy a lips and they're sexy? I guess we're finding out.
Yep. Okay, so
Is this a 2012 YouTube video?
yes. So it's gonna burn.
Why would it burn?
Cause
Why would it burn?
that's how it makes your lips sexy. Do you feel it?
Oh,
It takes a second.
it causes a mild allergic reaction to plump up your lips.
Yes.
That's horrible.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the show. Damn, that's too sexy, right? It irritates your lips slightly to inflame them. Correct.
Oh my god, look at how sexy my lips are now.
Yeah, especially give it a minute. He said,
I'm like sexy Squidward.
I'm sorry, who?
Sexy, what is it?
Squidward?
Squidward, yeah. Whatever the kids say.
We say Squidward.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. So you just do that for the rest of the show.
I said Squidward, but it sounded like a TH because my lips are burning.
Squidward. Yeah. Squidward.
Squidward.
Yeah, just it's really mild allergic reaction. It barely burns at all.
I can feel it.
Yeah.
I can...
That's how you know it's working. Look, it's on mine. That's why my lips are all shiny. Oh no, your lips, handsome Squidward.
Hey everyone.
Hi, good morning.
There's so much news. What do we start with? I mean, I guess we got to start with N7 Day, huh?
Okay. There's two big pieces that we got to get to. But yeah, let's start with N7 Day. Yes.
Is N7 Day not the big one?
I'm really excited about the poster. Depends on who you are. N7 Day was yesterday. Time hasn't moved faster than that, right? It was yesterday.
It was yesterday. This is when all the Mass Effect fans put their stockings by the chimney and wait for BioWare to put a little morsel in there, and also to sell them a ton of merch. And they did both of those things.
Absolutely. But you did get your morsels, so that's what matters.
So basically, they dropped a new hint they said at the very end of the post, their very long blog post talking about Mass Effect Legendary in the last year and all of this stuff, at the very, very end, they said, oh, yeah, we are, of course, working on the next game in the Mass Effect universe. And they showed a new image, a new poster, a new poster. Looks like a new crew. Everybody's wondering who that what's that ship?
Whose ship is that?
Whose ship is that? What's
Who's
going
that?
on?
Who's that
What
ship?
planet are they on? What's happening? And it just says Mass Effect will continue. That's it. That's all it says.
I like it. Oh no.
We're gonna roll in the intro.
Oh no.
Roll that intro, baby.
The intro button's broken.
Good morning.
Start the show over every time.
Every single time. So people are looking at the poster and trying to figure out Mass Effect clues, because of course everything is a clue.
Everything's a clue. We're looking for Easter eggs in here.
So they're like, one of those crew members looks Krogan, the rest are humanoid.
Which, like, you can only tell potentially by, like, the fact that one is just larger than the others in the tiny speck that they are.
When you look at the whole poster zoomed out,
Let's see if this works. It did.
the crater looks like the head of a Geth. So that's pretty exciting. People are trying to figure this out.
Did you see anything interesting in there? Anybody in chat find any little Easter eggs? Any speculations from y'all?
I'm looking.
Oh no, our intro button. It's broken.
Resetting the Andromeda series? Maybe. Who knows? Maybe they just leave that alone. Move on to something new, right?
That's still the only Mass Effect I've played.
That's so funny.
I know. I was gonna play the remasters and I haven't. And then I didn't, is the thing that happened.
Yeah, what happened is that then no.
And then I didn't, but I will. I got him, I think.
They also gave a big infographic about the Legendary Edition and what choices players make. Those things are always fun. 15% of people did not recruit Garrus. 15% of the human race are monsters, is what I'm hearing. That's weird. That's pretty nuts.
That's suspicious.
That's very suspicious. Are my lips sexy?
They do be popping. Your lip gloss is popping.
I'm a bit plumped.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thanks. And then I just can't believe that. That was the biggest and most surprising thing about that to me. It looks like most people have been playing it on the normal difficulty level. Over half the people have been playing each game at normal, except of course for 3, where they added in the narrative option. And for Mass Effect 3, that goes down to 23% playing narrative and 35% playing casual. People just want to burn through that, I guess. Did you save the Citadel Council? Did you let Diana Allers join the Normandy? 97% did. 3% did not.
Okay.
Sorry, Jessica.
I love this quiz.
If the city council lives, who did you choose as humanity's first counselor? 85% chose Anderson. Who in your crew was loyal to you?
Ooh, Garrus 98% of the time.
Garrus!
And 15% of people just didn't even take him on.
You recruit Garrus! He's a sweet boy! Morden was the least loyal.
But still 90%.
Still pretty loyal.
That's still a very loyal crew, in my opinion. 90%?
Yeah. So there you go. Those are the big choices. I always love when people do things like that. You know, Telltale used to do that with their games too.
Yeah.
And that was always fun to see which people chose what. They built it in. My favorite thing about Telltale was they would build it into the game. And so at the end of every chapter would be like, here's what you did versus what everybody else did. And I always love to see that. It's fun. Life is Strange does that too, to an extent, which I enjoy.
Yeah. I've been playing through Until Dawn, and a lot of that, like every time you make a choice, it's like, oh, here's what you did.
Prince Adam 76 in the live studio audience says, looks like Anthony is having an allergic reaction to something. His lips are bigger. You charmer. Thanks for noticing.
Yeah, that allergic reaction can cost like $20.
Wow.
So
Beauty is pain.
Is
Beauty
it
is
still
pain.
burning?
No. Now it just feels weird.
now it just looks sexy,
Now it just feels weird because my lips are bigger than they're supposed to be and my face isn't.
and they're sexy and a little sticky.
Yeah, they are a little sticky. Thanks for noticing. And
And that was the most of it. Leave a little bit of money, of course, out under the tree. BioWare. And they'll give you a little Until Dawn prezzies. I'm not little. God, I had that game in my brain. They'll give you little Mass Effect prezzies.
Where's the beep boop?
What do you want?
The beep boop.
Oh, the goal.
Yeah.
That's also gone for some reason. I don't know what's happening.
Hard
Oh,
same.
That's why.
Where are we? What's happening?
It was on the wrong
Oh, great.
scene. Look at that. Now everything's back to normal.
We got it, baby.
The thing's the right size.
Anyway, here's the thing. We're just
You
two.
can pay for more sexy lips.
We're just two people in a shed,
Mhm.
trying to keep our lips as sexy as possible. Apparently, that shit costs $20. So you know.
And that is not the only piece of BioWare news. As well,
Dun 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 dun.
we got to keep talking BioWare. Again, did you leave your money? It's the opposite of the Tooth Fairy. You leave money under your pillow for BioWare.
The Old
they bring
Republic
treats.
is 10 years old. That's an Old Republic.
It's officially an Old Republic.
It's officially now an Old Republic.
And congrats to Old Republic.
And as part of their as part of the 10th anniversary of the Old Republic, BioWare has been doing something wild. They're re-releasing every single one of the Old Republic trailers remastered in 4K.
And it's so cool.
And they are just beautiful looking.
Ugh. Absolutely ridiculous.
Like, what a neat thing to do.
The 10-year Old Republic.
I'd forgotten how good these trailers were.
Yeah, right?
I'd forgotten how hype I was when these trailers came out.
Everyone is reminding you that you also still need 300 million for Chipmunks, because I don't think the Chipmunks have sold yet.
They haven't sold yet.
So
Believe me, I'm checking the chipmunk market every day.
we could still get them.
Look how crisp.
Really good.
Like, they really re-rendered this bad boy.
Yeah. That's a good looking trailer.
Ugh.
God, that's so cool. Nothing has ever made me want to play a 10-year-old game more.
Yeah, right? Look at all this Star Wars you can be.
Now, the question is, like, obviously we've got KOTOR coming right now.
Mm-hmm.
What's up after that?
I mean, look, the Old Republic has been hanging in this sort of semi-limbo, right? Because it's not within canon. It's not within the new canon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously, there was the exclusivity contract with EA that Disney Games had, which meant the Old Republic was allowed to keep operating, but, like, they weren't really allowed. They added as much new stuff as they could.
Right.
Right? But they had to kind of fly under the radar a little bit. But yeah, now that EA, God, Darth Malgus is just a fucking slab.
Yep.
Just a slab of meat.
Yep.
So yeah, like now that other people are allowed to make Star Wars games again, and they've been remastering all the old stuff, what is going to happen to the Old Republic? That's what I wonder.
I'm very curious to find out. I would love to see the game, you know, not look like this, because it's never going to look like a cinematic trailer, but look a little closer.
I mean, it's going to look real close to this these days.
Like, I would love to see it look like this.
I mean, I would say, like, looking at this looks like Fallen Order on a PC.
Yeah, I could see that.
You know
a
what I
little
mean?
bit. Yeah.
Like, there's some of the effects that couldn't be real time, but for the
God,
most
Fallen Order
part,
looks so good on PC. I love it. Mama Faraday, good luck on your second dose. And also, we had a very generous donation. We will go through and we'll thank everybody for bits and donations and subs at the end of the show. We appreciate you.
yeah. Oh, hi, Sean Finney. Good to see you. Yeah, it still has to run on a potato. Yeah, it does. That's the thing about that's the thing about an MMO is you really have to make it so it runs on everything. But that doesn't mean
Exactly.
there can't be like a high-end mode.
Yeah, I want graphical options. I want the option to play it on a potato, sure. But also, if I spent all that money getting a graphics card,
Bye, Jedi Clint Eastwood.
let me have it.
Poor Jedi Clint Eastwood. With his bad
God.
political takes.
Damn, that's so pretty. A lot of Jedis do have bad political takes.
Yeah. Turns out the moral of Star Wars is extremes are bad.
Yeah.
Although I do love Malgus walking away in slow motion from an explosion.
I'm very into it.
That's so good.
It's such a good trailer. It's so good. gimme games.
So the trailer was made
Gimme
by
games.
Blur Studio back in 2009. They're still around. They're still doing game trailers. But back in the day, they were one of the first places, like production houses, whose entire living was made off of making high-end video game trailers.
Interesting.
We're so used to that now, but that was not a thing back in the day.
Right.
But they really did it. They said a regular 3-minute trailer takes about 3 months and 40 to 50 people.
Wow.
Which sounds about right looking at that trailer, especially in 2009. That honestly sounds a little light depending on, how quickly they had to turn it around. They said that they made that first DC Universe Online cinematic.
Oh, interesting.
And that took them 6 months, 71 artists.
Wow.
Yeah, they make good stuff.
Making little movies. Thank you for making little movies for the games we love.
Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen to our strange little MMO that's set in the bubble universe that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Although, I mean, look,
You
they've
can-
been bringing back a
you
lot
can
of
come
stuff.
back to the canon.
They've been bringing back a lot of stuff.
It doesn't have to be out of canon forever.
No. Listen, the amount of Old Republic stuff and the amount of expanded canon stuff that they've been bringing back.
Yeah.
I mean, just in Mando alone,
Right.
they went kind of nuts bringing back a lot of the EU stuff.
So recanonize.
Hey,
Canonize me, Captain.
bring back Malgus and Revan. Bring back Malgus and Revan.
Also, let Mara Jade in.
Wow, that's a can of worms.
Let her in for me.
That's a can of worms.
Hey, this is my personal request. It has nothing to do with Anthony.
Yeah.
Let her in for me. Give her a cool new outfit.
Goggles still?
Goggles still. Of course, goggles still.
Always goggles.
Goggles and the cape. Mandatory.
Mandatory.
Everything else, I don't know.
Uh,
Have Zendaya play her.
and she can just turn to camera and go, hey, 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 whoa, whoa, and then disappear.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Dune, Zendaya and Dune.
I haven't seen Dune yet.
Let me tell you something. In case you forgot, Denis Villeneuve is very French and thinks about women in film in a very French way. Zendaya was there to turn towards camera and have the score go.
It's very loud. Play it out of the mic a little bit. Okay, well, speaking of Zendaya, it leads us perfectly to talking about Spider-Man.
Love Spider-Man.
Love Spider-Man. And yesterday, we got a poster for Spider-Man No Way Home. And people were very hype. It's me, I'm people.
I love it.
I love it.
Great poster.
So, there were a couple of things in here.
Needs 15 more Tony Starks. But other than that.
So,
Hi, buddy.
you got a little Green Goblin back there?
I'm something of a scientist myself.
Obviously.
Yo-yo.
Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Zoomies. So obviously you have here Doc Ock, but we knew Doc Ock. But what?
But we also knew we were getting the Goblin because
Yeah.
he did throw a pumpkin bomb, so we knew
Right.
that was happening.
We knew that, but this is a nice little confirmation. It does look like he's in there as like a joke.
Yeah, like he's photo bombing.
Yeah, like it looks like one of those like Xerox fine pictures. It's like photoshopped in a weird way. Very interesting way to go about that.
I love it though because like I love it because you've got the lightning bolt in the composition that like draws your eye to him, so you're not gonna miss him.
Right.
But also like, I love it because it's such a classic Spider-Man comic book scene of he's totally focused on one villain and has no idea the other one is like coming up behind him. Is such a Spider-Man thing.
Yeah.
You know, we're like at the moment before the spider sense tingles.
Right.
And he's like, I'm boned.
I thought it was the surfer until I zoomed in. I did too. When I first saw it, I was like, no, not also. We knew we were getting the Green Goblin because of the little pumpkin bomb and the little teaser. But
now,
I will agree because it has that like silvery tone to it.
Yeah, Quasi79 Foo in the live studio audience brings up something. Lightning Bolt can be a reference to Electro or the Shocker. Now, Electro, Jamie Foxx did drop that he's in the film. Yeah. So there's also sand getting thrown up behind him. And we do know that Thomas Hayden Church is coming back. We did hear about that. There have been a lot of, I believe it was the Empire cover that came out. It was a beautiful Chris Ware cover, and he did one of his, like, beautiful Art Deco comic-y things. And in every corner was an emblem that matched a member of the Sinister Six.
Yep.
And one of them was definitely the Shocker. But one that I thought was very interesting was Mysterio's helmet bubble was in it.
Interesting.
And like,
because obviously we've dealt with Mysterio already.
But have we? Have we dealt with Quentin Beck, the master of special effects? Is he truly gone?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
That's a very easy thing to justify.
And was his multiverse bluff? Like, we know he wasn't from another universe.
Right.
But he did make up that story. Did he make up that story because he knew there was a multiverse because he worked for Tony Stark? And is there another Quentin Beck, or did this Quentin Beck bring in the Sinister Six from across different multiverses?
Yeah.
There's a lot that could be happening here.
I love that idea because, like, you know, in the scale of Marvel villains, right? They've done an excellent job of, like, the size of Spider-Man's villains have been somewhat smaller. Yeah. In comparison, but also because he was just getting started and he was a fucking teenager.
Yeah.
You know?
And also Marvel's always made that distinction between level, world level, and cosmic level.
Exactly.
And Spider-Man is a street level who occasionally gets to deal with world and cosmic stuff.
Exactly. So in this scenario where it's like, sure, it's your street level villains, but it's all of them at once. I just love the idea of a scrambled, sweet little Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Now, one thing that was not in any of these trailers or any of the hints that we've seen before, nothing about the Rhino. No Paul Giamatti in a mech suit.
Nothing about the Rhino.
I think we're okay.
It could be a surprise.
I think we're okay with it. Now
we don't need it, but it could be a surprise.
They did show a little bit of something that could be the Lizard, though. I would love to see Reese Ifans come back as the Lizard.
Interesting.
I thought, look, whatever you want to say about Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, and you can say a lot about Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Please watch Kinda Funny Spider-Man Rewatch, guest starring me truly. I thought Reese Ifans had like a lot of heart as Kurt Connors, and the friendship between them that goes bad was such like a good Spider-Man thing.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And even his moment of like his little moment of redemption at the end of Amazing Spider-Man, I thought was very nice. But I would love to see him come back. You know, Topher Grace's Venom in No Way Home. I would love to have both Venoms there. Tom Hardy and Topher Grace, two dudes who understand what a big joke this shit is.
I would like to have neither. I would like to vote for neither one of those. So the trailer sparked a lot of conversations. Obviously, you know, you have your confirmations of Doc Ock and the Green Goblin, but I don't know, Sandman, Electro? I don't know. Who's to say? This was one of my favorite tweets that I saw while scrolling through the hashtag, which
Tobey Maguire confirmed. Oh God, that's so funny.
There were a lot of fun things that people were making, but there was also a lot of like intentional misinformation going around too. Yeah, like these were getting taken out of context and shared, these posters that aren't real.
Yeah, these are just fan posters, but people were like, look, it's true, and it's like, no, they're clearly not. Those are clearly fan photoshops.
Yeah. They're not that good. Like they're good. Have fun with it. I'm happy for you. You did a good little project for like just for funsies and for fans. I love that. But not.
Can I tell you something though? I like that people now are coming around to how cool this Green Goblin costume was.
Dude, it was so cool.
I fucking loved the Green Goblin costume.
I did too.
When we were doing the rewatch, everybody's like, "This Power Rangers ass Green Goblin." I'm like,
I love the Power
cool.
Rangers.
It's fucking cool.
And,
I like it.
Here's the thing. Yes, it's very Power Rangers, but also I love the Power Rangers.
Also, listen, baby. It was 2001, 2002.
Yeah.
This was very Y2K, like turn of the century. Like, it was good, man.
I love it.
And I loved some of the things that I loved, particularly about the helmet. Like, this was Richard Atchison who did the original costumes, and Richard Atchison is a freaking legend in costume design. The thing I loved about it is he designed that goblin helmet. So number one, certain scenes they could light it so you could see Norman's mouth inside.
Tight.
When it was dramatically important to see Norman's mouth inside, you could see Norman's mouth. And also, those eye shields went up. So in like really emotive moments, you could also see Norman inside. And I love it so much. And the idea that he was like obsessed with like power masks from different cultures.
Yeah.
I thought that was fun.
Yeah, I think it was justified in an interesting way. I love the shapes of it. It's fun and comic booky and disturbing, but like also you and I have a particular affinity for movies that look like comic books.
I don't mind a little camp in a comic book movie.
I honestly, a lot of the time I prefer a little camp in a comic book movie.
Yeah. And I think like, you know, when people looked at the Green Goblin, I remember back in the day, Alex Ross had designed some Spider-Man sketches for the film that didn't get used. They brought in Alex Ross. And he was like, I don't know why they didn't use any of mine. They went in a different direction, but blah, blah, blah. I want to show you this. That's not as cool. It's cool in a painting.
I agree. It looks like, you know.
Alex Ross has a great way of painting heightened things to look like they're in the real world. But in the real world, that goblin suit would not look like that. That would look like a Leg Avenue fucking...
I agree. I think it looks
Party
like
City.
a Party City Swamp Witch.
Yeah. So that was kind of who... That was... And he did a Spider-Man sketch as well, but...
The close-up on the face is very cool. Like, that makeup could be so cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But at the end of the day, that wouldn't fit in the story they went with as well because...
Yeah.
How your face get like that? It had to be
and
a suit.
There's also something fun about this, like, Harley, like...
It looks like a jet ski to me.
Yeah, it looks a bit like a Harley Davidson or a jet ski or something.
We used to like lean back.
Yeah. I think that's kind of cool, but it's cool in a drawing. You know, I think they did a great job with everything Green Goblin. And I'll tell you something else, Sage. Can I tell you something else?
Tell me something else.
Rewatch Spider-Man movie. In the first one, the Green Goblin throws a pumpkin bomb, and it just turns people into skeletons. The Green Goblin in the MCU is gonna tear things up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those pumpkin bombs turn humans into skeletons, Sage.
I mean, we're already skeletons.
But just skeletons.
Right. That's impressive.
Just the bottom layer of the 7-layer dip.
Yeah. Very impressive. That's a big villain.
He's gonna be a bad boy.
I'm very excited for it. I'm a huge fan of this current iteration of Spider-Man. I was never a Spider-Man kid. I had a couple of the comics growing up and it was fine, but Spider-Man was never my hero. I fucking love this Spider-Man so much.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah. This Spider-Man is very good.
It's a good Spider-Man and I'm excited for this movie and I'm sad that it's the last one. We've got a bunch of Nintendo news.
We do have a bunch of Nintendo news. Let's talk about some of this Nintendo news.
Let's get into it.
Well, first of all, do you like to carjack people and also punch prostitutes in the face?
Oh no.
Well, then the GTA trilogy is not for you, but it is for others.
Yes.
The definitive edition, we've been wondering, what's going to happen on Switch? Better not be Cloud, we said.
No.
And it's not going to be Cloud, but how's it going to look? How's it going to run? We have some screenshots now.
Let's see it.
So this is a screenshot of GTA 3.
Yeah, that's fair.
Great.
God damn.
There's, you know.
I remember these very well.
Here's the thing. Here's the nice thing about this. The Switch can definitely run a PlayStation 2 game.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? But people are wondering about all the lighting effects and everything that have been added to the definitive edition. Are they going to get the benefit of that? And the answer is kinda.
It does feel weird, right? Chloe with the Flow said GTA on Switch feels weird to me. It's nice to see them catering to different kinds of players, but yet it's something about it being on my little like pink and green handheld thing does not vibe for me.
I mean, here's what's funny. You might look at this shot of CJ and be like, "Oh my God, that looks terrible." But remember, these models are not getting updated really on any platform.
Right.
So that motorcycle, even though it looks like an old, PS2 motorcycle,
it's his face for me.
But they did change. They updated his face a little bit.
But like it's so undefined. It is just lumps. It's just lumps.
It's lumps. It's lumps on a smooth.
Yeah, it shouldn't be on the same system as my Animal Crossing island. I don't know what it is, but it does not feel correct.
But it's like Nintendo has a couple of these every generation, right? Where like on the Wii U they published Devil's Third.
Yeah.
Do you remember when they put out Itagaki's Devil's Third? It's like Tattoo Man murders 100,000 people, and it's like Nintendo even published that.
Right.
So they have one, and back on the Wii they had Mad World, and the big deal was like Mad World was like very violent. And they always do like one or two of these that are like.
But like imagine sitting down to play Call of Duty on your Switch.
Yeah, that I can't see. I mean, you could play Witcher on it.
Witcher makes way more sense to me.
It does.
Witcher makes way more sense to me. It's a fantasy game with magic and beasts. That's like in the same vein as playing Monster Hunter on your Switch. And that makes perfect sense to me. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
GTA is where I put the line for me.
Deannie brings up that Saints Row is also on the Switch, which also feels
It's
weird.
Very funny.
But I mean, it's good. The lighting there. You're probably not going to have the same resolution of textures and the same amount of effects that you would have on some of these next. This is like, I mean, it's iconic and also is just an artifact of the passage of time, is it not?
Yeah, right? It is.
Like, look at him.
Anthony, Vaping Steve said Call of Duty on the Wii was fun. And now I just have to imagine that it was played with motion control.
It was.
You had to run around like...
Yeah. You could aim with the motion controls on Call of Duty on the Wii. Yeah. And then they had like 9 Call of Duty games.
Get your little nunchuck.
They had like 9 Call of Duty games on the DS, and you like aimed with your stylus. And like, the DS Call of Duty community was live and hopping. Like, there were kids playing Call of Duty on their DS all day, every day.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah. Yeah, Luca Donosaur is saying, yeah, you shot with B like a trigger.
Oh my God.
So this was your gun, and you were like moving around, and you had your.
It's like playing Time Crisis.
Yeah. Yeah, but you had
Call of Duty.
Yeah, you had your joystick, so you could actually move, but you looked and aimed with your.
Dude, that's so funny.
It was kind of interesting.
That's so funny.
It was kind of interesting. I mean, you could do the same thing with like Resident Evil if you wanted to.
I think it's more wild for me in a multiplayer game.
Sure.
It's way more wild for me in a multiplayer game.
But at least everybody's using the same weird ass control system.
I
You don't need to worry about
know.
somebody else like on a mouse just like
Absolutely.
thrashing everybody. But yeah, people are bringing up that there are a few games. Nintendo is not as locked down to kids only as they used to be, and I think
Of course.
and I think they understand that they are now dealing with a lot of people who grew up with their systems, who have more adult taste.
I don't think that they were ever locked down to it, because like you think of the most iconic like N64 games and you think of like GoldenEye, right?
Yeah.
That's like in the first games I think about when I think about an N64, and like kids played it, but it was a shooty gun game.
But that's something interesting. Bringing up, I think something that Nintendo is also noticing is, as much as they tried to be locked down family friendly, it's always those 1 or 2 games that aren't.
It often blow up.
That can blow up with like an entire group of people that they don't cater to, and
Yeah.
like cause like GoldenEye sold N64s.
Yep.
To people who normally would not have bought one.
Right.
That's the same. You've got people who love Bayonetta, who are like, I bought the Wii U because Bayonetta 2 was on the Wii U.
Yeah.
You
I
know?
think that for some reason I'm more weirded out by GTA than any of it.
Ro was like, wasn't Contra on the SNES? And it's like, yeah, Contra, the first one was on the NES, the third one was on the SNES. But remember, in Contra, they did very important Nintendo things, which was there was no blood. Your gun didn't shoot regular bullets. It shot like strange pellets and lasers and stuff. The enemies were all either aliens or robots. Like there were a lot of Nintendo stuff that was done. Like very famously, one of the things that put the Genesis ahead in the early days was you could do blood in Mortal Kombat. And in Nintendo, on the SNES when you were doing Mortal Kombat, you would punch somebody in the face and it was like sand. It was like sand would come off.
They were
them.
just dusty.
Yeah, they were just dusty dudes. So there's always been one or two every generation, but
To each generation,
a
a violent video game is born.
This one is very interesting to me.
Okay. Oh yeah, let's jump to that. Okay,
I wanna
let's
jump
talk
to
about
that.
this.
Have
Have you picked back up Animal Crossing?
I have not
Sorry.
yet picked
Please
up
go
Animal
ahead.
Crossing. My family was in town this weekend, so I didn't play anything. But the Animal Crossing 2.0 update came out, and some of you dirty, cheating time travelers. Look, play the game however you want.
Play the game however you want.
We're not angry. We're just disappointed. You're gonna time travel. You're gonna time travel back to Halloween.
So I time traveled, but not to okay, look. I'm not time traveling for impatience because it's like, oh, people will time travel or go back because they missed the sale on their turnips and stuff like that. I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I just missed the whole Halloween event and I'm just living by myself in a little Halloween event and I'm just going to my story today to see what's there.
Mm-hmm.
I just went back to October 25th so I could just vibe in the Halloween event.
That's fair.
I'm fine with just being a few days behind so I can just go check my store every day and see if I can get a little scarecrow or a spooky pumpkin guy.
Hey,
Good time.
play however you want to play. Dirty cheating time traveler went into the future.
Yep.
And found that there is going to be Black Friday at Nook's Cranny. Timmy and Tommy are going to have a 30% off sale for Black Friday.
And 30% off is pretty good.
Your timing is impeccable. Right now, we're running a special Nook Friday sale.
I just bought that thing in the lower right, that arcade machine.
Oh, the Sega Swing? Yeah.
I just bought that.
That's a Sega Astro City cab. I
Wow.
love it.
How do you time travel in the game? You have to set the date and time on your Switch.
Yeah. So from now through November 30th, everything in the shop is marked down 30%. Black Friday. Real world consumerism invading my Animal Crossing?
Yeah, I would love it. I would love to say let's keep capitalism out of Animal Crossing, but it's also foundationally the game.
No. Crossing is capitalism the game. Animal Crossing is the fantasy of a capitalism that is fair and works.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And that's why the game is so good.
Yeah. I love this from Darren Plays Bad in the live studio audience. Said, OMG, get ready for your villagers to get violent. Imagine showing all of them rushing into the store.
Oh my God. It's 5:59 a.m. and there's this huge line outside of Nook's Cranny and
people have camped out.
Pelly is elbowing Isabel.
Uh-huh.
And pushing her over to get that big TV.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my
I
God.
love this. I have to know, has anyone else done the morning stretches yet from the update?
Did you? Are they adorable?
Oh my God.
What do you do while they're
You
stretching?
take the controllers off and you motion control and you stretch with them, Anthony. You can choose not to. I choose to participate. I always choose to participate. You can do it any time of day, but you can just be like, hey, there's a little boombox now in front of your town center, and you just...
It plays that little plinky music for the... I love that. I love that.
I stretch every morning. Isn't that great?
It's so cute. Man, I'll tell you what, Nintendo does. One of my favorite things about Nintendo is that undercurrent of these are toys and toys are also for health. Mm-hmm. That's just baked into their DNA. There's nothing to do in Pikmin Bloom.
Yeah.
But I play Pikmin Bloom
every day.
I'm constantly checking it.
Yeah, I love it.
It's just a reason to get out and walk and enjoy the neighborhood.
In a perfect way that does not make me feel shamed for not doing so.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
really
the other
nice.
thing is all these fitness apps are you are 30% less than you were yesterday.
No, thank
and
you.
you better, what's up with your heart rate and blah, and I'm just, stand up and run around right now. And I'm just just be cool, man.
I open up Pikmin Bloom and it's I found a strawberry for you. You want to go on a walk?
it's yeah, bud. Thank you for the strawberry. I will go on a walk.
Yeah. If not, maybe later. Also, I'm loving the response in chat. If you don't stretch with them, you're a monster. That's a fake choice. Get up and stretch with them every morning.
Every morning.
I can't keep up with them. I also love Quote the Flow said, one of my villagers just can't do it in time, and it's hilarious.
I love that. He's just like the one that's offbeat and like, oh, that's so good. That's so good. Hey, Japan, open your borders, cowards.
Tom Biden said, imagine if a streamer did stretches with their community following along as well. We're a morning show.
We're a morning show.
Stretch.
We could do that early enough.
We could do a little morning stretch.
Beep, 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 beep. I love it. This, look, we thought that they had forsaken us, and this Animal Crossing 2.0 update is...
It's a perfect game.
They did it.
But
They
there's
really did.
more Pokemon news.
More
Nintendo
Pokemon?
news, and it's Pokemon news. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. There's more Nintendo news, and this one is about Pokemon.
And it is for leaks.
There's more leaks. So... here's what we're not going to do. We're not going to spoil the game for you.
No, we're not going to. I don't think we'll show any of these videos.
Yeah, agreed.
They're out there if you want to look at them.
Yeah. We'll just go to here. So, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl come out in a few weeks. And, look, it's a remake of an existing game.
Mm-hmm.
So, to some extent, you can only leak so much, right?
Yeah.
I've already played the games. That's fine. But the game itself is leaked.
Yep. A couple people have it early. Whether this is a leak that comes from press or this is a leak that comes from somebody who works in retail or distribution, we don't know.
Yeah.
But this was posted on the PokeLeaks Reddit. It has since been taken down, but it has been proliferated across the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And it shows a lot of what I would call mostly quality of life improvements.
Yeah.
Shows a lot of quality of life improvements to the original games that are going to kind of make things easier, and just a little bit nicer for everybody. There
was also somebody who posted a photo of the actual case of the game, but people are kind of questioning it, saying it looks fake because it switches languages across it looks like, which is very interesting.
Well, it depends on what territory it's in, because certain North American boxes will have English and French. It could be that this is a territory that does English and Spanish.
Yeah.
Maybe a South American release. I'm not sure. But I'm more used to seeing English-French, which I think is what I think a lot of people are, which is why people are questioning this. But it could be that there's a territory that does.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Oh, now wait. Nope. Down the bottom there it says French and Spanish. So this is a weird mishmash. People are weird. People are right. This is a little weird.
Yeah, it's seeming maybe like it was fake.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Could be interesting. So listen, this is not the first leak that the Pokemon Company has suffered in recent years.
Oh boy, they've had a lot of leaks.
And this is not like the first leak that, if this was proven to be a member of the press, this wouldn't be the first time for that either. Remember that Sword and Shield leaks that happened last year were traced to a huge Portuguese gaming site that had leaked everything.
Yeah.
So F Nintendo admitted it was responsible for uploading the off-screen photographs, and Nintendo immediately severed ties with them and said, "You're never getting a Nintendo game again."
Makes sense.
But also, they were given permission to subpoena the identities of Discord and 4chan users behind some of the leaks, leaving the two platforms no choice but to hand over the personal details of the individual in question. And the two men were later ordered to pay $150,000 each to the Pokemon Company for leaking images. They had posted those Gigantamax images that nobody had seen before.
Yep.
Here's we all want the info. We're all excited. We're hyped up for it.
Yeah.
But I also don't like when people spoil too much for me.
I agree.
The game's coming out in like 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, personally, I'm waiting the 2 weeks. I took a very kind of ancillary look at it to understand it for the show. But also, again, I wasn't too afraid because I've personally played this game.
Yeah.
Right? I played Diamond. So I'm not too worried about it.
It's interesting when you do a show like this because it's like, well, I want to know what the leaks are about so I can talk about them to people, but also I don't want this shit ruined. When we're not covering stuff for the show, I'm the sort of person that's like, I'm not watching this trailer.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this thing.
Yeah, he doesn't watch trailers in general.
Because I'm just like, I just want to know. I just want to know what it is. Sometimes I'll watch a trailer.
Yeah.
Occasionally.
Depends on the thing.
But you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Anyway, be aware that those spoilers are out there. Information will.
Proceed with caution. In more Pokemon news, Pokemon Trading Card Game Live has been delayed until 2022. That was going to be the replacement of the TCG Online app and trying to make, I'm sure they want to make something that's like Arena.
Oh, yeah.
They're trying to get on that Arena grind, right?
Yeah. Look, all of these card games and collectible card games start. Magic in particular is just printing money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, why wouldn't they want Pokemon to print that same money?
I refuse to play Arena.
Yeah.
It'll be a problem. I can't have Magic the Gathering with me at all times.
Here's my thing. We've talked about this before. I want to learn to play Magic. I want to get into Magic. I only played it a couple times in my youth, and I think I played it wrong. You know what I mean? Because there was nobody else in town who wanted to play Magic.
Yeah.
But I do look at all of the single issues of comic books and little collectible things that are all around my house.
And then you think, do I want to do that with decks?
Could I just play Arena?
You totally could. I am not against Arena. I love Arena. I think Arena is awesome. I think it's very, very good. And I think that, it's a great option to not have all of that stuff in your house. However, I know it's not good for me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I get you. I think it's good though for Pokemon fans that they're gonna get sort of one of those best in class experiences that a lot of the other collectible card games get and a lot of the other tabletop games get. They do say that now though everything's gonna be pushed back to 2022. It was supposed to land at the end of 2021. That is getting close, and so it was. I'm sure behind the scenes they were like, it's time to either pull the lever or tell people that we can't pull the lever yet.
Right.
But this will be exciting for people. Man, who it's gonna be so exciting for? It's gonna be so exciting for parents who have to pick up Pokemon cards and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they can just put it on their iPad instead for kids. Absolutely. I think this is great. They said that to provide trainers with a more polished experience, the Pokemon TCG Live mobile soft launch in Canada and global open for beta desktop have been shifted to 2022. We will have more to share soon on timing for both this testing period and the full launch of Pokemon TCG Live. All right.
Yeah. Listen, we've gone this long without this game. We'll go a little longer.
Yeah.
Because when it comes out, they're going to print money. They might as well print the money right. You know what I mean? If this thing launches badly, it's going to be a problem. But if this launches well...
Yeah. There's also a similar thing as Magic the Gathering where you can get codes sometimes for Arena in cards. They've already done some rebranding on physical Pokemon cards where you're getting codes and things that you'll be able to use in this app.
Love it.
They said, don't worry, they will still all be viable and usable. For now, you can use them on the old app if you would like to, and they will still be able to be put to use on the new app.
Oh, I love that.
Yep.
So do all of your physical... If anybody out there plays already with the Pokemon trading card game online, if you already play that, do you get to... Is there something on all of your cards where you get to put them all in, or is this just specific cards? I would love to know that.
My guess is that it plays like Magic does. And sometimes you'll get a card in there that's like, hey, here's this for Arena. And it's just like a nice little bonus.
Because they don't want you... Yeah, that makes sense, because they don't want you scanning the same card multiple times. Things like that. I could see that. Yeah,
so sometimes you get a little bonus thing in there that's like, here's a Prezi just for you.
I like that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, final bit of Nintendo news. Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack is not doing so well. It's doing well. Initial numbers were very good.
Nintendo Switch Online, of course, is when I pick up my cell phone and I call Anthony and he answers on his cell phone. That's Nintendo Switch Online.
That's what it is. And then I say, are you playing a Switch game? And Saige says, yes. Are you playing a Switch game? I say, yes. And then we go, wouldn't it be cool if we could play that together? And she goes, yeah. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll be there in 20. There's been a lot of backlash about Nintendo Switch Online, which, I think Nintendo Switch Online also deserves a little bit of grace in knowing that their priority for Switch Online was not connectivity. It was knowing that a lot of kids have their consoles, and making it a little more complicated makes it a little less likely that kids are talking to strangers. I also get that.
Yeah, but so complicated that you need 4 devices to talk to somebody that may be too complicated. The online expansion pack is, of course, all of those new N64 games, all those new Genesis games, and people have been unhappy. They've been unhappy with the quality of the emulation, particularly on the N64 side. They've been unhappy with the quality of life and usage things, particularly button mapping, because N64 games are so finicky.
Right. So if you didn't go and get that N64 controller for your Switch, it's a little rough to play.
So Nintendo has heard. I mean, look, there was a lot of bad reviews and bad feedback. The Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pack trailer and announce video is the most disliked video on YouTube Nintendo has ever had. Wow. With some really negative comments. But Nintendo says, we understand. We're going to improve this going forward. We promise. They said, last month we released a Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack, a new membership plan that adds content to the existing service. Going forward, we will continue to improve and expand both Nintendo Switch Online and the expansion pack, striving to provide services that satisfy consumers.
I'm not as mad as everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not...
Look, I got my Animal Crossing DLC with it. I'm having a good time over here.
Yeah. If you were somebody who was specifically looking forward to N64 emulation and N64 online multiplayer,
And
I could see where you would be disappointed.
And I am excited about it, but it's not... Like, it was still worth it for me while that struggles.
Yeah.
And I look at that and I go, they'll fix that. It sucks right now.
Yeah.
They'll fix that.
I mean...
That's where I just personally land on it.
Yeah, the issues are easy to identify. I think something that's interesting, though, the new Diabolic says in the live studio audience, shutting down ROM sites while giving consumers an inferior product. Gotta love it. And that's where people really, really felt a little cheated on this is... I got a better N64 emulator on almost every device that I own than the one that Nintendo released.
Yeah.
And it's very disappointing because they have Nintendo EAD, who tends to make really amazing emulators for Virtual Console. They have a history of it. They did a pretty good job on the Mario 3D All-Stars. I got a feeling that was a budget project, just to see. But man, people who are looking forward to N64 and who paid that extra money for N64... I get it. I get why they're mad. And I also, when we're leading into this story with the story about how Nintendo is just suing the pants off of people, I can understand it. I can understand where people are angry. But hopefully they keep improving it. I would rather have an official Nintendo released running perfectly version of Sin and Punishment than the Sin and Punishment that I play on my emulator. But here's the thing. Nintendo hasn't given me that yet.
Right.
Hasn't given me that yet. Anyway, moving on from Nintendo to more re-release news. We got that Skyrim Anniversary Edition coming out soon.
That's true. Hey, would you like to spend some more money on Skyrim?
No, but I am.
Same.
No, but I am.
Because I love Skyrim, no matter how much it hurts me.
No matter how many times I've bought Skyrim, which is 5, I will continue to buy Skyrim.
Of course.
And they know that, and they are monsters, and also I love them because they keep giving me Skyrim.
Yeah. Don't stop giving us Skyrim.
Now, they did give us something that's going to soften the blow. There is a $19.99 upgrade, which we were not previously aware of. So Skyrim Anniversary Edition is going to cost $49.99. Or if you're upgrading on your specific platform, it's going to cost $19.99. And you can upgrade from whatever the current release is for your platform. You can upgrade from the Skyrim Special Edition. Or if you're a Game Pass subscriber.
Wow.
You can upgrade for $19.99.
That's pretty good.
And that's across all platforms. So if you're on a PC, if you're on a PlayStation, if you're on an Xbox, doesn't matter. Is the Switch getting it? No, surely not.
Interesting.
I don't. It might. I don't know, but they don't mention it specifically here. So, I mean, that's not a bad deal. That's not a bad deal.
Mm-hmm.
$19 for a next gen upgrade for something.
Yeah, $20.
You know, and I forgot they put out, you know, this like 5-minute video that shows off some of the stuff that's coming out in the Anniversary Edition.
God, that's good.
And there's a lot. They're adding a lot of quests. They're adding a lot of story content.
The Anniversary Edition is a big upgrade.
They're adding that symphony orchestra in the box.
This is by far the biggest upgrade they've made to the game and all the different editions of it I've purchased.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's already a huge game. It's a ridiculously huge game.
Right.
So you can see they have new armor, new quests. This new quest line is supposed to be like another 20 hours or something.
Wow. I'll wind up buying it, but I'd rather they just move on and make a new Elder Scrolls game.
You know, we know that they made a logo for it.
We do know that.
They showed a logo at E3.
Yeah.
They don't have a name for it, but they did add, what they did is they have the Elder Scrolls logo, and they did render a 6. We know that they used their computing power to render a 6 after it.
So
that's coming at some point.
That's, in theory, a game.
It's wild what you can do. Something that I've always noticed whenever people are making mods for Skyrim or Skyrim comes out like on a new platform, it's amazing what you can do to an old game just by like adding effects.
Mm-hmm.
You just layer effects on top of effects on top of effects, and you're just like,
Right.
that's a beautiful game again.
That's so funny. Lee Green Griffin in a live studio audience said, "The first time I loaded up Skyrim, my game bugged and my player never got out of the prison cart. I feel like I sat there for 10 minutes wondering what was supposed to happen." I love all the OG Skyrim bugs
Oh my god, so good.
much.
We told the story about how the cart in Skyrim just they couldn't figure out what to do. They couldn't get Skyrim working.
Yeah.
They were supposed to release Skyrim in like a week, and what was happening is during the intro, the cart would randomly fly into the air. Just like fly into the sky, and they couldn't figure out why. And it's because the cart wasn't on a track. They were like physically modeling the cart in the world. And they figured out what it was. Nobody had added proper collision to flies, and the cart kept hitting like a firefly or a butterfly, and it was launching it into the air because they didn't add physics to the butterflies. Mm-hmm. And I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that so much. I've told this before, but my first Skyrim copy had the dragon never came bug.
Yeah.
So you'd get, I mean, you know, that's a solid half an hour into the game or so. So you're playing, you're having a great time, and then all of a sudden you get to the tower and you're just like, so
What's happening? Are we mad? What are we
we
mad
just
about?
wait here? And it never comes, and it's a completely ruined copy of the game.
Should I just walk away? Okay.
Like, you just can't play the game.
You can't play the game. All the dragons flying backwards on PlayStation. Yes, the people swimming through the air. Look,
Amazing.
I love a really broken Bethesda game.
Yeah.
And I like a really fixed Bethesda game 10 years later.
Yeah.
You know?
We love the fun kind of broken games.
Yeah, I don't mind when a weird glitch happens, as long as like it's not save corrupting or game destroying. If something weird happens, I'm like, cool, that was weird. I'm gonna restore my save.
Yeah. And in the last piece of games news that we have for today, we have a little more Elden Ring news.
Just give me little morsels of Elden Ring.
And we'll
That's all I
take
want.
it, and we love it. We got a quick look at 5 different classes that are going to be available in Elden Ring. And we didn't get a ton of detail about them, but we did get to see them, and that's pretty cool.
These are, of course, the Tarnished. Is what we're calling them now. But there
All
they
right.
are. We've got Warrior, Enchanted Knight, and Prophet here. And then
Champion and Bloody Wolf.
Champion and Bloody Wolf.
Of these 5, who you playing?
I love the look of the Bloody Wolf for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. I I think the Prophet is stupid looking, and so I might do a Prophet.
I was thinking that too. I was like, I hate the Prophet. Maybe because of that. It looks like a wagon wheel around the guy's neck, right?
Yeah, it definitely is a wagon wheel.
That's very funny to me. Like, they definitely look very silly.
Yeah, they look stupid. I might be one of those.
Lugo Donosaur said, never played Skyrim. Is it too late to jump on the bandwagon? Not at all. It's clearly a very good time to jump on the bandwagon, honestly.
Yeah, they did also
Get that new Anniversary Edition.
They did also announce that any save games that you have from any of the upgradable editions will transfer over.
Awesome.
Except from PS4 to PS5. Because PlayStation still hasn't figured that out yet.
Yeah.
And this is the second time we've heard that. I forget what the other major game was where that couldn't happen, but it's a bit of a bummer. It's because PlayStation 5 plays PS4 games in like a walled emulation sort of garden thing.
Yeah.
And so they haven't figured out how to do like easy data transfer for developers.
I will say I'm also into the Enchanted Knight.
Yeah. I mean, that's the closest to like a standard kind of fantasy knight, I think, that you get.
But you have a staff, which is, I don't think, standard for a knight. You have a staff. You're doing magic.
Oh, an
enchanted knight.
Enchanted knight.
That's why I'm into it. I passed by it the first time as well, being like, it's a knight.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, that's knight armor. It's a knight. But you have a staff in that, and it appears to be of these what would most likely be the primary magic user of these 5.
So we do not know if these are the only 5 character classes. We do not know anything about them, except Warrior is a standard From Software class. But the other ones seem to be new or renamed or variations on old classes. Dark Souls had 10 classes. Dark Souls 2 had 8. Dark Souls 3 had 10. And Bloodborne had 9. So
we can expect that there's probably a few more.
There might be a couple more. I don't know. Here's the thing. The larger From Software says they're making a game, the more I'm like, careful, From Software.
Yeah, I get that.
Careful, From Software. You buggy boys.
With them releasing 5, I predict 10.
You predict 10?
Mm-hmm.
That's an easy prediction. Yeah.
They've released half up front.
That's a good prediction, I think. That's a good prediction.
You know, half up front. That makes sense to me.
Half up front, and then half upon completion.
Everybody wants to know more about the wagon wheel on the neck. We're going to have to find out. We're going to have to play as a prophet and find out.
It's a wagon wheel and a bowl cut.
And a blindfold.
Yeah, I love it. It's so dumb.
I definitely picture them with just like the wheel around their neck, walking around like.
Yes, 100%, 100%. And then if you
walking and bumping their wheel into
you have 2 prophets, you can lay side to side and plank and roll.
You hold on to their legs.
You hold on to their legs, and they hold on to your legs, and you can roll very quickly.
That's very funny. People wondering if you upgrade it to become a full wagon.
Oh my gosh, I would love that. Or you're just a better wheel. You know?
Oh, interesting.
Like you can get a white wall tire eventually.
Right. Okay. Let's get into a little bit of business.
We are a business show first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
I do have my street MBA.
And I, of course, passed the bar in the state of Virginia, so we're qualified to tell you about business news like Ubisoft.
Ubisoft. Please.
Please.
Ubisoft.
Oh no, my industry. It's broken.
Ubisoft, please.
So,
So were you not giving them... What were raises like before... And is this...
Why is it...
If we pay you off, will you not...
Is it a response... Because... Is it a bribe...
Here's the thing. Ubisoft has had an intense talent drain over the last couple years. Can't imagine why.
For what? For what?
Can't imagine why. But they're losing a lot of top and mid-level talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are saying, hey, it ain't fucking worth it.
Hey, I have a, privilege and position to not have to deal with you.
I'm
and
not
that's
gonna.
great.
Yeah, I've got 5 years of experience now. I'll go make an iPad educational app at a studio with 10 people where I go home at the end of the day and I get to have hobbies and I get to have a life and there's no crunch and there's no harassment and there's no racism and there's no sexism. And Ubisoft said, yeah, I could see where these are problems. What if we just added more money?
We're not going to fix the problems.
What if we just added more money?
Could we pay you to deal with sexism?
How much money to have somebody be racist at you every day?
And they just keep sliding them numbers on sticky notes. This much?
But I bet the numbers are small, though.
Yeah. And the person's like, no. And they're like, this much?
So there is a worker group inside of Ubisoft that's called the Better Ubisoft. Junior staff is going to receive a 5 to 7% increase. Senior level staff could see their pay increased by up to 20%. That means like a lower level developer who has a $50,000 a year salary. This is Ubisoft Canada, I believe, are the ones that are mostly dealing with this program. They're going to have their $50,000 a year salary increased by $2,500, while a higher level developer making $100K could make as much as an additional $20,000. These numbers seem low. 50K. I mean, look, 50K for a very junior level developer. Granted, I'm not on that side of the industry. I don't know, but I can tell you this. It sounds like somebody who's making a game that literally clears $1 billion in profit should be making more than 50K a year, particularly if they're working crunch hours. You know, even these people who are making like $100,000, if they're working 80-hour weeks, they're making minimum wage.
Yeah, so Elaki said a 5 to 7% increase when inflation is 5%. So basically, not, they're just they're not making any more money.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing I always say is at the end of every year, and I say this across social every year, if you didn't get a 5.6% raise this year, you got a pay cut. And we should all be aggressive about that. If you don't get at least a 5% raise every year, you are getting a pay cut every year.
Correct.
And no matter who you are or what you do, whatever industry you're in, when you sit down for that yearly review, you let them know that.
Say it.
You let them know that.
Say it. You have to.
So, Ubisoft Canada is, of course, they lead the development on a lot of the biggest franchises that Ubisoft has. Because you're thinking this is UB Montreal, Vancouver, Quebec. So this is they make Assassin's Creed. They made Valhalla. They made Far Cry 6. They made Watch Dogs Legion. These are the money making offices. These are the top tier developers. So they should be getting paid pretty highly already. And the fact that they're getting 50K at a junior level, that sounds low to me. And their insiders are saying that they are desperately trying to hold on to the few experienced developers that are still there.
Right.
They've been bleeding talent because nobody wants to work there. And if you're skilled, take your skills to somebody who respects it a little bit more and pays you a little bit more. But the problem is that means those key studios that are supposed to be like the jewels of the crown, like the crown jewels of Ubisoft, all they got is like 1,000 junior level developers there, and and maybe a senior level director.
Right.
And so that means they got to spend even more money to make these games, and more time and more crunch. When the solution is obvious to Ubisoft. Pay your people what they're worth and treat them well. Instead, they just throw bodies at the problem.
So I did a little research because I want to talk about what an issue $50,000 is. So this is in Montreal, Canada.
Montreal is not a cheap city.
Montreal is not a cheap city. So to enter into the middle class in Montreal, your wages of Canadian families and unattached individuals, a median income is $62,900, the median income. So you're making below the median income at a massive company with a very technically specific job. There's a ton of education and training. An entry-level job there, you can't just be like, I would like to develop a game.
Right.
You have to have experience in education. So, an average home in Montreal, Canada costs $434,000 as of January 2021.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you live in Vancouver or Toronto, it's going to be about double that.
Absolutely. So that's specifically in Montreal, which is a less expensive of the three cities, pretty significantly. An average one-bedroom apartment is $1,300 in Montreal, Canada.
Mm-hmm.
So $16,200 of your salary alone is just your rent per year if you live in a one-bedroom apartment.
Yeah. And look, that's an average apartment, right? Do you want to live somewhere a little bit nicer?
Yes.
Do you want to live a little bit closer to work?
Correct.
You gotta factor that in too.
Mm-hmm. And that is post-tax. Correct. So if
you
you're
know,
really making, $38,000 a year, and they also, in most apartments, ask you to make 3 times your rent in your salary, these people aren't getting a fucking apartment. Not even a one-bedroom apartment.
Yeah. So it's very interesting. Flannel Fries is saying that Montreal is the least costly major province.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yes, but that doesn't mean it's a cheap city.
Right. $1,300 for a one-bedroom apartment is still
Like,
very expensive.
Look, it's Seattle, Seattle is not one of the more costly major cities in America. It's still expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Even like Scottsdale, Arizona, which is not, huge. It's considered like a small major city. It's not cheap.
Right.
Living in a city is not cheap.
Yeah. Someone said that's twice the mortgage for a house. Twice my mortgage for a house wherever they are.
Yeah.
So it is an expensive city. And like we say this as two people that live in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
A very expensive city. A one-bedroom apartment here is $1,800 a month. Depending on the areas you're looking in. You can find it down to maybe 15.
I was going to bring up the donation goal. Speaking of that.
It's because the other thing is not synced correctly. The button is synced incorrectly, so we keep going to the wrong scene. There it is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Most people are paying $2,000 a month to have a place here,
Yeah.
and just rent, and only rent. So with that in mind, these are unlivable wages, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And anytime that we can go, hey, this is your reminder that like $50,000 could sound like a lot of money, especially if you live in somewhere particularly inexpensive. It's not.
A better Ubisoft did say these moves do absolutely nothing to address our key demands.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, we told you treat us better.
Yeah.
And you said
A little more money? Bless.
In addition, by weighting the pay raises enormously in favor of senior staff, management are exacerbating the gap between the highly and lowly paid workers.
Take a minute.
I get so worried for Canada.
Yeah.
Is Canada okay? Canada, are you all right? I get so worried.
Hey, buddy. That's all right.
Canada.
You're okay. Just take a minute. Okay, we'll just take a minute. Just take a breath. He choked on the news.
My mom was vaping all weekend in my apartment.
Oh, no.
And it was a bad air quality weekend already in LA, and then my mom was just vaping, and we took her to the dispensary as soon as she landed. She was so excited. She was literally like one of the kids walking into the candy room in the Wonka movie the first time. She just ran through it like it was a magical forest. And brought her back to my apartment, and she wanted to watch What We Do in the Shadows and just get high. And she kept I have an air purifier in my apartment, like you have to in LA. And she kept vaping, and the air purifier would keep kicking on, and she'd be like, "Boy, the air quality is really bad here this weekend, huh?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, Ma, it's real bad here this weekend."
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that's it. You nailed it. All right. I have 2 more very important things that I absolutely want to talk about, but there's so many good ones that I still want to get to. So let's can we speed round this?
Yeah, let's speed round.
We got so much important stuff. We got a Stranger Things 4 trailer.
California,
A little
baby.
teaser. Very exciting. I love this. It made me want to catch up on Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, you're a season behind, huh?
I think I'm 2. I think I just watched 1. Yeah, no, I'm 1 season behind. I watched 1 and 2. Yeah, because this is 4. I could do that. 1 season behind's not too bad.
This, of course, starts off in California, where 11 is living with the Byers family. And she's writing a letter. The narration, unfortunately, we can't play it for you because copyrighted music. But we see some new characters. She's writing a letter back to Mike about her new life.
So cool.
It's all very sweet. She's
They're
talking
in high
about,
school.
Yeah, she's talking about how well she's doing when in reality she is not. It's very cute. And then, of course, it gets very creepy at the end.
She's got like a little bit of a mullet.
Yeah, I love it. Poor Lebben.
I'm very excited to catch up on this show.
It's so wild. It's so wild when a show about kids becomes popular like this. Because you just watch these children you don't know grow up like in front of you.
It is interesting, and there's something about the Stranger Things cast in particular. I think because it's one of the rare occasions where they're actually children. They cast actual children to play, for the most part, their ages. So specifically, we've really been watching these kids grow up, and like, you know, I mean, Millie Bobby Brown is a small icon.
Yeah, and especially with the athlete's foot slowing down production. They aged 2 years this year.
Right.
At a time of their lives when aging 2 years is a big change. So that's pretty fun. They also announced the titles, as they always do, for season 4. They are The Hellfire Club, Vecna's Curse, The Monster and the Superhero, Dear Billy, The Nina Project, The Dive, The Massacre at Hawkins Lab, Papa, and The Piggyback.
Now, Vecna's Curse is the one that caught me, of course, as a Dungeons & Dragons player.
Yeah.
As the greatest evil in, essentially, the universe of Dungeons & Dragons. I'm like, okay.
I love every season when they have their episode that is like a direct D&D.
D&D pull.
The Hellfire Club, of course, from X-Men. So that's kind of interesting to hear about.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Papa refers to Matthew Modine's character who ran the lab.
Yep. Very
A
interesting.
lot of cool stuff.
Bear Quack Attack said, how do you feel about that from a child actor perspective, though? I think that in a show where a cast is with a bunch of other kids, there is technically a way to do this correctly. It's entirely the responsibility of the parents and the production to keep children safe. It's a very complicated matter that I don't necessarily have a direct stance on, because it's like, what? Do we just not have any kids in movies? Maybe.
And, you know,
I don't know.
Yeah. And
I had a rough experience, but
a lot of kids...
I think it could be done better.
Yeah, a lot of kids have rough experiences, but then, you know, I know some people who were child actors who are actors still today, and they're like, I actually had a pretty good... People get lucky, you know what I mean? Or they're on a production that treats the kids well.
Right, or their parents are particularly responsible about it.
Yeah. So it's tough to say. It's
complicated.
If the kids are happy, and the Stranger Things cast at least seems to be giving off that vibe.
Yeah.
A lot of them have their own YouTube channels or stream on Twitch, and they seem happy.
You never know.
You never know, but yeah, you never know. But hopefully they are.
Now, this is the important piece of news that I really wanted to get to before we end this, because this is the most unhinged thing that I've ever seen.
This shit is wild.
Anthony, this is the most unhinged thing that I have ever seen.
Hey, is my Fast family here? Fast family, where are you at? It's not about cars, it's about family. Are you here? Where are you at? Who's coming to the barbecue? Who's got their Coronas in hand? Because we got news. We got news. Life Cereal says it's about family. Undercooked Train says, what? Yeah. Son of Orpheus says he's family. Fabio's Butter, Familia, Blue Noses, here. Yo, this is the most wild thing I've ever seen in my life. Vin fucking Diesel. My little brother Dwayne, the time has come. The world awaits the finale of Fast 10. As you know, my children refer to you as Uncle Dwayne in my house. There's not a holiday that goes by that they and you don't send well wishes. But the time has come. Legacy awaits. I told you years ago I was going to fulfill my promise to Pablo. I swore that we would reach and manifest the best Fast in the finale that is 10. I say this out of love, but you must show up Do not leave the franchise idle. You have a very important role to play. Hobbs can't be played by no other. I hope you rise to the occasion and fulfill your destiny. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about the fact that he starts off with my little brother Dwayne. He can't even reach out without being condescending.
Sure can't.
We know you're standing on 3 apple boxes when you speak to The Rock. Be cool. Be cool. Yeah, kiss. Kiss. Kiss him. And it's also weird that he says that, like, Vin Diesel says his children are in touch with The Rock, and The Rock is in touch with his children, but he and The Rock are not in touch, which tells me, as somebody who has seen these signals before, Vin Diesel's kids are having a rough go, and Uncle Rock checks in on them. Do you know what I mean? That's what that says to me. This is speculation.
Mm-hmm.
This is speculation, but it says to me that's not a cool home, and The Rock just checks in on these kids. Yeah. If only we had... Nah. We need a clean mask. Nope. There we go. So close. So close. But how odd is it to post this particular shot of them, number 1, mad at each other, number 2,
About to kiss.
number 3, Vin Diesel standing on boxes so he's the same height. Looking at each other angrily.
Uh-huh.
And say, come back to this thing.
And, like, to do that publicly? Like, that's not how you cast a movie, dog.
On Instagram.
You can't do that.
On Instagram, trying to publicly shame The Rock.
You must show up. Like, it feels like leaving a note. You know, in all of those mystery movies, how, like, their dead father leaves a note that's like, you must take over the family business. You must go here and pick up and speak to this person. You must fulfill the prophecy.
Yeah. It's a lot of that, and it's also a lot of, like, I'm going to publicly shame you into doing this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, like, I know you hate me.
Mm-hmm.
We've clearly tried to negotiate this before.
Mm-hmm.
The studios have tried it. Our agents have tried it. Everyone's tried it, and you've said no.
Mm-hmm.
What if I act like you're the reason this is going wrong? What if I publicly act like you're the reason this is going wrong?
Yeah, and if it doesn't happen, it's your fault. If I say it out loud now, maybe everyone will be mad at you if it doesn't happen.
That's fucking weird. That's fucking weird.
Right? Publicly shaming him into attending another loathed family gathering.
That the Fast and the Furious really is family.
I mean, yeah, that sounds like family.
He's guilting The Rock into coming home for Thanksgiving.
Jeebus.
That's wild.
So weird and so cringy. I cannot believe it. And Anthony, you know me so well. You know what the other thing I wanted to get to so badly was.
This is such an important one.
This is such an important one. And we said this. We speculated it.
This is the first thing we said.
It was the first thing we said when we talked about the casting for the Wicked musical adaptation film. We said, don't put James Corden in it.
You can do anything you want, but don't put James Corden in this movie musical. They didn't say anything about it. They didn't say James Corden was going to be a part of it.
No.
They didn't say he's connected to it at all.
But we know.
But we just said, don't you put James Corden in this musical.
And now we know we are not the only ones that think so, because a petition on change.org has popped up that currently has 36,000 signatures and about to have 6,448 because we're gonna sign it. Wow, you look at it's going up. It's live.
It's going up live.
It's going up live.
Folks, this is beautiful.
This is beautiful. Should I drop a link in the chat?
Please do.
Do you want to go sign the petition, everybody, to keep James Corden out of Wicked the movie? Let's read what they said about it. Almost nothing. They said, James Corden in no way, shape, or form should be near the production of Wicked the movie. That's pretty much it.
That's the entire petition. That's it.
There's
I
a link
love
in the
this.
chat.
I love this so much. Keep this motherfucker out of Wicked.
Don't put James Corden in Wicked. There's no way they can put James Corden in Wicked now.
Wait. Uber, except it automatically creates petitions for every movie
To not put James Corden
in it. That's my app idea.
Okay. Yeah. It's like all those apps that are signing up where you get like a text line notification now.
My $1 billion app idea is an app that automatically searches for movies and television shows in production and actively starts petitions to keep James Corden out of them.
Yeah. And you can sign up to auto sign.
Yes.
Yeah. You can make an account on the platform where it's like, yes, please auto sign every petition for me. Yeah.
Oops. Anthony Carboni.
And then we cut away.
From my email.
Yep. App that removes James Corden from any media. And, it's like Face App. What was the one where people were putting their own faces in movies? I think it was Face App, right?
Oh, yeah.
Where you can put your face in it, but it automatically takes James Corden out of things. I also love that app idea. I think that's a good follow-up. Oh, gonna make the competitor for Chris Pratt. It's for animated films and Chris Pratt.
Yes.
It automatically makes a petition to not make Chris Pratt the voice of something.
Now, people are also chipping in on this petition because change.org has that thing that you can do where you can chip in real money on a petition for change.org to put advertising and social media behind it. And this is
How much money has it raised?
This is scrolling live. They don't show the total of money, but they show this kind of honor roll, and it's like $5, $7, $7, $3, $5. Like, people are doing.
Bro, that's so funny. Dude, that's so funny.
James Corden get deported challenge.
Dude, when I was watching the Cinderella movie that they just did recently.
Executive producer James Corden.
I didn't see that in the opening credits. I was not paying attention because who the fuck was paying attention to anything about that movie? But I looked at those little mice and I said, one of those is going to be James Corden. And I had no idea. And I said it out loud as a joke. I looked over to the person I was watching it with and I said, one of those mice is James Corden. I was joking.
And then it was.
Oh,
and did that mouse have a hilarious fat joke?
Yes.
Yeah, sure did.
He was like Gus,
Yep.
essentially.
But legally distinctive.
For some reason, legally distinctive.
Legally distinctive
They
enough
made a
from
Cinderella
Gus.
movie without the permission to make a Cinderella movie. It was very complicated. Anyways.
Clobag is saying, no, you can't deport him. We just got rid of him. It seems like you just got rid of him, but we've had him here for like a decade
so
now.
Long. Come on.
We've had him for way too long.
Take him back.
Take him back. Isn't it time for a Ned and Stacy reunion? Take him back. You need him. You need him.
And that is the perfect place to end our show for today on Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson just getting called out for a family reunion and maybe kissing Dominate Toretto. And then a petition to keep James Corden out of Wicked. This is great. That's a perfect ending to It's Too Early.
Man, it's crazy that all James Corden ever did was that one episode of Doctor Who, and then he disappeared and never did anything else again.
Isn't that wild?
Isn't that crazy?
Hey, everyone.
Gavin and Stacey, thank you. Ned and Stacey was an American show.
Got it. Thank you, everybody, for showing up for the show today. We appreciate you so very much. If it's your first time here by any chance, we do the show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday live on Twitch. If you're watching it on the YouTube VODs later, they go up just like an hour after the show. So we also post them on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we appreciate you so very much.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody. It is still on the wrong fucking thing.
And when we're not here, we're elsewhere. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I'm at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, give it back to me. Every Friday on We Have Concerns, my science comedy podcast. You can find it at wehaveconcerns.com. And, of course, I'm currently on Spider-Man Rewatch on Kind of Funny. Saige, where are you at?
You can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige. I stream over on my channel every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. You can also find me on Smosh Games and on the Dungeons & Dragons Twitch and YouTube channels.
We want to give a big thank you to everybody who has directly supported us during the stream. Jack Jerk 30, The Elusive Manatee, Rye Guy 0699, Sith Jedi Knight, Lady Hulk X, and Surf BKD. Thank you so much for the follows. Mirror Shield 40420, Elefante 14, Dumb Tusk, Smart Girl, Jack Attack Cosplay. Thank you all for the follows. Danny Boy's calling pipes with the $100 donation. Thank you so much. We make this show on our own in a shed. It's literally a shed. If you were here on Friday, you saw the door open and you saw the murder shed that we shoot in.
Yeah.
Thank you. Every bit helps. Mama Faraday, speaking of which, 300 bits, saying some bits before I have to dash off for my second dose. Cheers. Oh, well, Mama Faraday, if you watch this VOD, we hope everything went smoothly, and good on you for getting that second dose. Pirate Bear, 315. Becca C. Boo, thank you for the follow. Rebecca F.A., resubbing for a half year, 6 months.
Thank you.
Strictly Jess with the follow. Thank you so much. And remember, hey, if you are already a subscriber, a follower, if you've already donated, thank you so much. If you have not followed, please do so. If you'd like to sub or donate, we would love that, but we understand maybe you don't.
Yeah, and that's
cool.
okay too. You've already done the best thing you can do by showing up to watch the show, and coming back to watch it another time, even better. Even better than the best thing you can do. You can also make a clip. You can make a GIF. You can share it with a friend. You can tell a friend that you enjoy the show and that you think that they might too, either on Twitch or on YouTube, because these VODs stay up, baby.
These VODs don't run.
Watch them with your friends at work in the morning. I don't know.
These are patriotic VODs. They don't run.
And of course, over on the Patreon, we did a double clip this last week because we owed you two. So we did one where we talked about two things, and it's like a 25-minute clip. It's pretty long. Also, I've made a decision this morning. We did that really lovely Patreon clip where we went through and we made guesses about what all of the Lifetime movies were going to be about for the schedule of their holiday movies this year.
Right.
I'm going to make that public. Patreon got that exclusivity. It was that exclusive Patreon clip. I'm going to go release it so you can check it out as well. I'm going to throw it up on YouTube.
Throw it up on
for
YouTube.
everybody.
Hey.
So you can get a little preview. You get a little idea of what it's like over on the Patreon.
First one's free.
You know what I mean? All right. You have a wonderful rest of your day, y'all. We will see you on Wednesday. Take care, BBs. We love you.
Love you,
Goodbye.
BBs.